Your mission, should you accept it, is to engage with me about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, aka Mission Impossible number 7. It's time to talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Klepcx FM, brought to you by CritiX.com, a place where we talk about movies, television, and pop culture. And if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe key and that notification bell so you can be up to speed about everything that I talk about here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have had the opportunity to check out Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. That's right. This is supposed to be possibly the finale in the series. So they broke it up into 2 parts. But we know when franchises make money, franchises always seem to come back. So I don't necessarily think that this is part 1 of a finale. I think that this might be a part 1 of a series, of a sequel, and that it may possibly come back. Not saying that, that's not giving away like massive spoilers or anything like that, but like I said, when something makes a lot of money, studios always find a way to dig up that property and bring it on back. Now, let's get into what I thought about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I was on an adrenaline high when I walked out of that theater the other night. I spoke very highly of it as far as action-wise, ambition, and spectacle, which is everything that you would expect to get in a Mission Impossible movie. There are a lot of scenes in this thing that will have you clenching your seats, sweaty palms, and just anxiety all over around, because Tom Cruise is a maniac when it comes to making these movies, and he has no problem, no issue at all about doing his own stunts, as we all know. Now, the storyline in this thing is very grand. It's more, I compared it to something out of a Marvel Studios film or even a Marvel Studios comic book. Possible spoilers in what I'm saying, because the threat in this movie, it's not just people. It's not just people. We're not just dealing with bad guys, bad girls, henchmen. We're not just dealing with that. The threat in this thing is something that is like out of the control of man, I'm just gonna say. So the threat feels imminent, it feels intense, it feels real, in a sense. It is very science fiction, I'm gonna tell you, which most of them are. The Mission Impossible movies, when it comes to the tech and things of that nature, they can be a little science fiction, but this is probably the most science fiction to me that I think the series has gone. Now, in saying this, I am not a big fan of this franchise. I've seen number 1, I've seen number 2, and I've seen which was my favorite, number 3, because I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. I think he was a great actor, and he was an awesome villain in Part 3. So those are the only ones that I've actually seen, other than clips here and there of the ones after. Now, I went into this on purpose, not going back to watch those, because I wanted to kind of say, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to say, you know what? Instead of catching up and diving into the franchise and being a full-on fan, let me go see this from the mind of a casual and just see if it's just an overall good movie at all, period. It wasn't about how well it connected with the others and things of that nature. So I went in and I did thoroughly enjoy this film. As someone who didn't remember a lot of the things, the connective tissue, there are some moments in this thing that you probably may need to know about other movies to kind of connect what's going on in this thing, but I wasn't lost. I was able to kind of follow along and figure it out and kind of just enjoy what was in front of me. So that was a good thing. The movie in its core could be a standalone if you're not like a die-hard fan of this franchise, I believe, for me. A lot of the key players in this movie are back. Ving Rhames is back. Simon Pegg is back. Miss Ferguson, her first name escaped me, but she's back with Tom Cruise as well. The MI organization, they're all included. And there's some new players like Haley Atwell, who was, God, that woman. Everyone knows her as Peggy Carter in the Captain America series. She's in this as well, and her character is phenomenal. I love when they take typical, like, like when they take big names that you think are going to join a big franchise, and you're like, you think you know what they're going to do with that person, but they just do something totally left field with that person. That's what her character was for me. I was like, okay, they didn't lean in on the smooth around the edges, beautiful Bond girl type vibe with her. She's very rough around the edges, but very charming and very like just witty and just cool. Her character, the contrast that she has with Tom Cruise and their chemistry on screen is just it's beautiful. I love what they did with her. Beyond her, um, the action. Let's talk about the action, man. Listen, the trailer throws you off. People are excited to see that off the cliff scene that Tom Cruise actually does. The stunt is real. He really did it. He got on a motorcycle, dove off of a cliff, and pulled the parachute. That's real. But I'm telling you, there are so many sequences in this thing that don't really top that, but are like specifically the scene that's connected to that. You have to see it in context of why he does that and how it happens. It's not only hilarious, but it just builds and builds and builds and builds to a much bigger sequence that I talked about in my out of the theater reaction. I'm just telling you, I've never been so afraid of taking trains until this scene right here. The train scene for me is the showstopper in this entire movie. It is a two-part thing, so you can almost kind of assume that it's going to end on a cliffhanger. It's not as bad as you think. We're not talking Fast and the Furious here, but yeah. So I think that like you guys are gonna thoroughly enjoy that scene. That's like my walk away favorite scene. Palm Clementif is in this too, who a lot of you may remember from Guardians of the Galaxy. She played Mantis. She's in this as well, and also the woman who played Athena. Her name escapes me, and it's not even that complicated of a name, but I always butcher the names. She's in this as well. The one who plays she's one of the people who Adam Warlock's mom in Guardians 3. She's in this as well. So this is like a big Marvel reunion. I gotta tell you, like the way that they put this whole thing together, it's pretty cool. The cast members and stuff, and the people that come to play. So overall, I just gotta say, Mission Impossible 7 for me makes me want to go back and watch them all. Like I said, 1, 2, and 3 are the ones that I'm very, very familiar with. The other ones like Ghost Protocol and such, I in and out. Like I don't remember much about them except maybe that helicopter scene that me and a friend were just talking about. But this makes me want to go back and watch them all. Like it's that good. It's that fun of a ride and that thrilling, and the action and the stakes are very high in this. Like you don't know who's gonna go. Someone might go. And you just have no clue. You can kind of play it out as the movie goes, but just listen, watch this movie, man. It's a good ride. So that's really all I gotta say about this film. Like I said, it is essentially the thread is essentially a Marvel Studio storyline with Fast and the Furious action sequences, but better, of course, better than Fast and Furious, but it's on the same lines. There are a lot of contrasts and things that happen in this film that you've probably seen in a Fast and Furious movie, but just done better, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, I'd like to know, are you guys excited to see this film? Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, starring Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames. You guys, you know who the team is. You guys are all fans. Let me know if you're excited to see this. Have you no interest? Did you even know what's coming out? If that's so, that's crazy, but like, comment, share, make sure you subscribe. And for more movie news, television news, and pop culture, check out wearecritics.com. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace.